What's going on, everyone? Welcome to Real Deal Sports. Only two of us this time. Walt is out, making money, doing what he got to do, you know, to do what he has to do. Simple as that. But, me and John are here, and, you know, we got still going to talk about our sports, man. Our first topic Sister Serena Williams is calling it quit. Well, not calling it quits, but retiring. I guess you could say a little bit of both. But, she's retiring from the world of tennis after this year, right, John?
Yeah, I think she's doing one more Grand Slam finals, I
Yeah.
guess, whatever, and then she's calling
She
it after
doing the
that.
Kobe. She doing the farewell tour.
Yeah.
Yeah, doing the Kobe. Hopefully she can win a couple more. I don't know how many it is for the record, but hopefully, she can go out as a winner. But just starting off the topic, man, I don't think I think what her and her sister did for tennis will never be done again. They made, like I was telling someone yesterday, like the barbershop I worked at, they had us like in there like with the tennis match on, waiting
Yeah.
for her to play. Like, how many sports, how many people, how many women can say they had men waiting to see them play? Because she was just that good, or she just made it look that easy, and she just took the world by storm. I think it's gonna be tough. She's going. She's like she got that almost like that Michael Jordan effect. With tennis, as like he does with basketball, and it's gonna be tough for somebody to take that torch and exceed beyond expectations.
Yeah, there's a handful of people. I mean, I say there's more, but to this level, there's only a hand. I would say there's probably a handful of people that have, because let's say you watch NASCAR, right? You
True.
might watch if you're a fan of your driver, you might watch your driver, but you're not getting pumped about the race if your driver's not in. But then
Right.
Dale Earnhardt came along. You said Michael Jordan. Um, if you were a Phil Mickelson fan, you might have watched golf, but you didn't watch golf if you weren't getting crazy like it had to be on. Like you got to see it until Tiger Woods. Like Tiger Woods made it where everybody wanted to see it. Even if you weren't a fan, you wanted to see Tiger Woods play because he was just that great. Like I don't even know the rules of golf. Not me, but I'm just saying in general.
True.
Like if people who didn't know the rules of golf would watch because Tiger Woods was on TV. I mean, I was a kid when I
You ain't
first
lying.
watching him, and like I had to see. I think we were at the Air Force Base something when I first saw Tiger Woods or something. He was on TV, and I was glued to it. It was Tiger Woods. Like I had to watch. I don't know what it was about it, but he, and so she was one of them people, man. She made Lance Armstrong as that guy. For a lot of you guys, Luka Doncic and Giannis and stuff cross boundary lines where even if you're not a Bucks fan or Dallas fan, you still watch them, whatever. There's not, but to this level, man, she's up there with, like you said, Michael Jordan, Tiger Woods. I mean, she's up there with those names. And where if you were in the Philippines, you were turning on the TV to watch. That's how great she is. So, yeah, I agree, man. It's crazy, and to see how many great athletes are now going into their 40s to play it's insane. Like, I remember
Yeah.
a guy like Vinny Testaverde. It's like he's set the record for start at 44 years old, but it's like, all right, but dude ain't started in like 3 years. He's been on the bench. He only started because the two quarterbacks in front of him got hurt. Now, this is not a shot at him, but I'm just saying, like, he wasn't playing at greatness levels into his.
Right.
Now you got Tom Brady, who just won a Super Bowl at 43. Aaron
Going
Rodgers.
to his 23rd year.
Yeah, Aaron Rodgers is about to win, or he just won back-to-back MVPs. He's pushing 40. We saw Dirk was not. It was a little rough on the edges his last couple of years, but we saw Kobe
True.
drop 60 at 39 years old or whatever it was. So I mean, Tim Duncan, man, just to see how many athletes now are playing well into their and playing at a high level. But
Yeah. No drop off.
I wouldn't say no, but I mean,
Well, all right, it ain't a big like
Well,
a.
I'm saying for Serena. For Serena, she's
Oh
had a
well,
drop
yeah,
off. It's been a rough couple years for her.
yeah,
She had an injury. She also had a child 4 or 5 years ago. And took a couple years to recover from both of those. So it'll be interesting to see how great she. Because then you had Naomi Osaka come along, and she gave her some trouble, and we haven't seen anyone like her in a while, like come along who's given Serena that kind of trouble. So, but yeah, man, just she's still playing at a high level. I know her ranking isn't that great right now, but win a couple games at matches and she'll be right back near the
yeah.
top.
I agree. I agree. And it's like you say, it's gonna be tough. Sloane Stevens and Naomi Osaka and Coco. Three talented women right there. And then I think they're rising. They're rising. I know Naomi dealt with some personal issues last year. She had to take a step back, but she's one of them that can win at any moment. She can be tough. Especially when you beat a great like Serena. You're doing something. You're doing something right. Because how many people can say they beat her in the Open or
Well,
Wimbledon?
I mean, this is going to sound mean, but I mean, obviously it's tennis, so a lot of people can say they've beaten her in a sense. In the same way, like what I mean, no basketball player goes undefeated. You go 72-10, you're the greatest. 73 and
Yeah,
9. So a lot of people can say they've beaten them, but I agree. Like yeah, there's no one who's consistently defeated Serena
yeah,
Williams. It's just not happening.
100%. But I think they're gonna have to do something. They're gonna have to hang up a Serena Williams jersey or something in one of these tennis arenas.
I mean,
Because
yeah, she's going to the
just
Hall of
for what
Fame.
she did for the game, man, or
They
take one
might
of
name
these
the Hall of
trophies.
Fame after her.
Yeah, you or name one of these big time, U.S. Open trophy or the Wimbledon trophy. Name it after her. You got to honor her in some way because she put everything she had into that sport. Her and her sister.
Yeah. I know so NFL has its own Hall of Fame. I know basketball has the Basketball Hall of Fame, and that includes all kinds of different, cross. I don't know about tennis. Tennis, I don't know if they have a men's and women's or how that works, but yeah, I mean, she's definitely for most people, she's going to retire as the greatest women's player of all time. People, some old heads will argue that, and that's fine. And it's fair. I don't mind that. But
Yeah,
yeah, man, for our generation though, man, like she
yeah,
was one of
100%.
those. I'll say at least top 10, but arguably top 5 people when she was at her prime. You had to see her play.
Yeah, 100%. I agree. Next topic: the NFL. I mean, the NFL. The NBA says they will honor Bill Russell's number 6 jersey league wide for this upcoming season, and I want to say going forward. And it's only right. It's only right.
Now I had a ton of questions about this, even though it's not that controversial a thing. Like
Mhm.
obviously people are like, oh yeah, it should. But like, I had a lot of questions. I mean, what about all the guys who wear number 6 right now? And apparently they're going to be grandfathered in, so they get to keep wearing 6 until they
Yeah,
retire, and then
yeah.
once they retire, like no one else can wear 6. So, because I
Well, you
mean,
gotta think
obviously we
too.
all know someone who wears number 6 currently.
Yeah, true. But you also got to remember too. I mean, who's gonna be able to get some stats like Bill Russell? 11 championships and 12. It's like if you have that kind of career, yes, your jersey should be in the Raptors, no matter if you wear number 6 for Boston or not. But I
So that's
think
another question I have: is can Miami still retire LeBron 6, like in
I
their
would
right?
think so. I would think so.
Yeah, I don't know how that works, but I mean, yeah. So I guess they get to keep their jerseys. But I have another question too. Do you think LeBron will retire his number 6 in honor of Bill Russell? And by the way,
I
it's
don't think
also
so.
it's
I don't,
also another way that if because he just gave 23 to Anthony Davis, if he gets another number, It's just more jersey sales for him because now everyone's gonna want number 8 or 12 or whatever. Well, he can't wear 8 as
Or
likely, but
what he may do is wear it in honor of him. This will be his Bill Russell year. You know how players are. They find any way to get a
so he's gonna win a
little
defensive
advantage
player of the year.
and try to win a championship. Yep,
Yeah.
100%.
Okay.
Yep.
I
But
mean,
go
yeah.
ahead. Go ahead.
No, yeah, I agree. Like I think no matter what, LeBron can't win or lose. You know what I mean? Like with LeBron fans and people who are NBA fans, no matter what he chooses, they'll be like, yeah, all right, that makes sense. And then there was going to be the LeBron haters. They're going to be like, oh, no matter what he did is disrespectful. So it doesn't really matter. No one cares.
Yeah.
But yeah, man, there's like 20 something players currently wearing it. So I wonder which ones will keep wearing it and which ones won't. We'll see. Because if LeBron decides to not wear it, a lot of the other guys are going to get rid of it too.
Well, a lot of them, they probably, like I said, they'll probably do something like, oh, in honor of Bill Russell, I'm going to wear this number and, be the best version of myself. But it's crazy how, like just everything he went through in Boston, and it's like, this is your best player going, imagine like today, like Kawhi Leonard going through the stuff Bill Russell went through in LA. Like, this is the best you got. What are you doing? Like it's 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 just mind boggling to me. Like, you put, all your blood, sweat, and tears into this franchise. But, the people in that city just have that racist bone in their body that, they just gotta bother you. It's just it's like, what more do I need to do so you don't leave me alone? So you leave me alone.
Yeah, and that's the thing is even at that time, like he was the first ever player to like become a coach.
Yeah.
First ever black coach as well. But yeah, I mean his team and there were certain people who respected what he did in his fight. But like, yeah, we talked about this last week, man. Like Jackie Robinson played in the 50s.
Right.
And his hometown just erected like a stadium for him, like or a statue for him, like 10 years ago. You know what I mean?
Don't Philly got like a statue of like Rocky, but they don't have one of like Joe Frazier or something?
Yeah, right.
Like,
it's a
what are you doing?
it's a fake person, but you got a statue of him. Yeah. But that's what I'm saying is like Bill was still very respectful of his city for no reason. Jackie turned his back on his Pasadena. He definitely turned his back on them, but and rightfully so. I don't mind that. But Bill was a lot of people say he was almost like a Jimmy Butler. Like people didn't like playing with him, but you knew he was going to push you to another level and all that and stuff. But as a person, he was very he was very respectable. He was, on the court, sure, he was a different person. He was tough and he'd push you to another limits. But he was a winner. I mean, a lot of the greatest coaches get that. Oh, he's a bad people person. It's like, okay, but you wouldn't be where you are today without that college coach getting you 2-3 championships. So
100%.
like you gotta, a lot of guys who are natural winners are also very driven. And so, you playing with them is not going to be easy, but, Bill Russell, man, he was too kind to that city.
And he always says, I think someone asked him like, how was it, for what you did for Boston, like, do you regret it? And he was like, I played for the Celtics. I didn't play for Boston. And, when pretty much your GOAT says that, that's a problem. That's a huge problem, and it's like, all the success he was having, it's like, damn, what more do you want? Like, you really can't let go of this racist aspect.
I think a lot of people feel that way though. Like, you know what I mean? Like I got a good job and I keep working it because I like the paychecks and my boss, but I don't like but I don't like my boss or something. You know what I mean? A lot of people are that way. But yeah, like it seems like he did. It seems like he had a good relationship with the Celtics,
Mm-hmm.
and and I'm sure. And I mean, you listen to I forget. Oh goodness, there's a very famous, not famous. Well, he's quite famous writer. Bill. He had a show on HBO, I believe. Bill. Shoot, he's a huge Celtics fan. Anyway, he talks highly from when he was a kid, and him and his dad they would watch Bill Russell all the time.
Yeah.
Um, but so there were a lot of fans and team who loved him, but there were way too. I don't understand people who show up to the games to hate on people. Do you not have a better? I joke all the time about this, and people have their reasons, whatever. But I always joke about like if I was an atheist, I wouldn't spend all my money on billboards about why I don't like God. You know what I mean? I'd be like, I would go on
Right.
my life because it doesn't affect me. If I don't believe in it, it doesn't affect me. And it's a joke. I'm not saying nothing there. I'm just saying
Yeah.
it's the same as like why would you go watch players play just to hate on them? Like you spent courtside money. That's what we've been seeing with a lot of this stuff. Is people they're spending a lot of money to hate on people, and I'm like, geez, like how bitter are you inside that like you couldn't find something better to do with your money? But who knows? I don't know.
100%. But it's and essentially, being a, just looking at it, hindsight 2020. If it wasn't for Bill Russell, you'd only have 4 championships. Is it four? He won
So
11.
they currently
How
have
many?
17, right? I think they're beating the
17.
Lakers 17-16 or something like that.
He has 11.
Or yeah, so I think they'd have 6 without him.
And it's like, bruh, show him some respect. Like, they should worship the ground he walks on. Like, bruh, he won 11 championships in 12 years. It
And
has,
not just for the championships. I mean, the championships are the reason, but like he
and
brought
then
a
he was a
lot of
player
money.
coach.
Yeah, but he brought a lot of money and a lot of jobs to that city because of the championships he brought. You know what I mean? It goes
Yeah.
beyond basketball. It like his drive to win. Sure, he got paid and he got rich, and you can say, oh, if you're rich and famous, you're open to criticism. That's fine. I don't mind all that. But like you also have to think what he brought a lot of money and jobs to other people as well because of his personal drive to be successful. And and so like he did a lot for that city, even though, whether he wanted to or not, he did a lot for that city.
Yeah, 100%. But, he was, from what I've read and what I've seen, like documentaries and stuff, he was ahead of his time. He, if we had somebody like him today, they might hate on him, call him a martyr, and he's being outspoken, but we need someone like that today. And it's just the fact that, he wasn't, because you got to think back then, it would have been a lot more easier to persuade you not to do it. Like now you got social media, endorsements, and things like that. So I would assume it's a little harder to quiet them. But like back then, he could have easily been like, "Hey, I don't want no problems. I ain't got no problems. I ain't gonna tell nobody I got problems. It is what it is. I play for the Celtics. I like how life is, and I'm gonna keep it that way." But he stood up for what he believed in.
Yeah, and that you can do that too. I mean, some people like Muhammad Ali, they went to jail, right, for certain things, whereas Bill was able to be successful because he had a league who believed in him. He had a team who believed in him. They put him in position to succeed, and that's why people love the NBA because it's a players' league. Now, I agree. Like, there's some level of like, man, I wish it were a little more team oriented. like, but the NFL's getting that way where like now a bunch of Patriots fans are Buccaneers fans, and it's like, well, come on, man, like let's, I get it, you like Brady, but like you're rooting for another team to win the Super Bowl now. But like I wish there was a little more of team where it was Lakers, Celtics, there was a little. It's become very player driven, but yeah, it's more peaceful, and players are braver too to be able to come out and say stuff when they know that like their job is not in jeopardy because of things they're saying. Like their job has their back, their boss has their back. Like I can say these things, and and so like yeah, it's one of the reasons people love the NBA is. Yeah, and again, we're not saying they're perfect. Obviously, no one's perfect, but yeah, I mean, just the fact that they were able to have his back, is the reason he was able to say these things. And I think he would have said them no matter what. But
yeah.
Thankfully, he didn't end up having to go to jail or nothing like that for stupidity, whatever.
And then, like these days, if he was the outspoken, would they have gave him the Colin Kaepernick treatment? Tried to make it like, oh well, he just doesn't fit our system, and it's like, bruh, I ain't got no damn system. You was 2-15 last year. What system do you have?
Well, Colin Kaepernick, if he would have won 11 rings, I think he would have been all right. But yeah, I agree with you. Bill Russell, man,
100%.
Right, because that's the thing, right? Is there's certain players who almost are untouchable.
Yeah.
But but we, like we said, we just saw it with Muhammad Ali. Like he wasn't untouchable, and he was winning. He was at the top of his game. But it's different. It is different today, obviously. But but I'm just my whole thing is like it's too bad this stuff always happens, after they're gone. You know what I mean? Like I think, I mean, this guy has shown up to so many like NBA thing. Every time the NBA calls him, he rolls out of bed and shows up and presents his face for the NBA and all that stuff. It would have been really cool for him to be able to show up for something like this, be part of his own number celebration. I really think that would have been awesome for him. We see players get in the Hall of Fame posthumously because they died, and then the league's like, well, maybe we should put them in this year, and they've been snubbed for 8 straight years, and it's like, all right, and again, you can't guarantee someone's going to live, but at the same time, this guy wasn't young. Like they could have put his number. They could have done this before.
They could have done it years ago, or they could have done it when they won their last championship. Like to do a championship celebration and also a jersey retirement.
When the Celtics won their last one,
yeah,
or when he won his. Oh, okay.
Yeah, honor him there.
Yeah.
Make it like one big ass Celtics night. I mean, what better way to do it?
Yeah, because people were like wanting them to do stuff with the Kobe stuff, and they did end up naming an award after it and stuff. But no one saw that coming, right? This one we kind of saw coming. I mean, the guy was 88 years old. We kind of saw it coming. Like they could have easily jumped the gun on this one and given him the award while he's still around, but yeah, I mean, he deserves it, man. Like, it's a really cool award to know, But yeah, it looks like everyone who's wearing it currently will be grandfathered in. And so LeBron will get to wear it for a little bit longer, but we'll see whether he actually does or not.
Right. Yeah. Well, good people, we appreciate you all for tuning in, and we will be back soon. But be sure to like, share, subscribe, and hey, show your friends, friends, show your girlfriend. If you're a girl watching, show your boyfriend, show grandma, mom, tell them all to subscribe. We appreciate you when you tell them that. We really do. We really do.
Did you just say show your wife and her boyfriend? Is that what you said?
No, I did not. I said show your wife or.
I just clarifying that. I didn't know.
If I did, you know what I meant.
We out.